Here's why I'm still staying patient when it comes to ZBCN. However, keep in mind, nothing I say is financial advice. Well, it's because I think it's just pretty tough for me to not stay patient for arguably the number four project within the space of global trade and finance. And global trade and finance within this space, it's been known, right, to survive historically in the past. Multiple bear markets. We've seen times when everyone thought it was done, and then we saw what it did later. So it's a market that I've seen time and time again do what it did in the past. And sure, we're having a pullback as of right now, but I feel like, to me at least, this market doesn't seem to be as somewhat fragile, I think, when compared to some other market sectors within this space, like other niches, right, which historically haven't had that sort of track record. But some people like to argue with me and say that, okay, sure, we've seen historically that market sort of do its thing, but we haven't seen Zebec do that historically. I'm totally aware of that, but because of what ZBCN did back in 2025, despite the pullback as of right now, it's now currently, because of that, the number four project within that space, right? It wasn't before, it is now. And the market, again, we've seen what it did historically, surviving multiple bear markets. However, if a project is now top four within a space that has been historically known to kind of make it through bear markets, it's just tough for me to not stay patient with it. That's my perspective. This is why I'm staying patient. When it comes to Zebec, keep in mind, it has backers like Circle, right? We take a look at how that's the creator of USDC, again, Circle. We take a look at another backer, Solana Ventures. If Solana Ventures, if Circle just randomly gave up when it comes to Zebec, then that's a completely different situation, but I just haven't seen that. And the thing is this, sure, they're very massive, they kind of don't need this, but if, let's say, they give up on Zebec for whatever reason, maybe it might show something fundamentally. Who knows? But I just haven't seen that. And the thing is this, Circle, we take a look at Solana Ventures, they know that this space, especially when it comes to altcoins, there's going to be these sort of downs, ups. They know that this is going to be part of the thing, basically. It's part of the drill. I think sometimes they kind of know that. But I feel like because they know that, they sometimes just don't randomly bail on a project the same way the retail side of things may. Because in the retail side of things, if the charts are down, a lot of them are just going to leave. But these more experienced entities, these enterprises, they know about, there's going to be these moments that are very unpredictable at many times. However, what they focus on is oftentimes the fundamentals, right? They oftentimes focus on what the project is doing. And I have that mindset too, because when I take a look at Zebec, I don't see it as a fundamentally bad project to me. I see it as a project that's having a pullback along with a bunch of other projects within its space, right? It's not just an isolated event where it's only Zebec. That's not the case. A lot of things are having a pullback. Let's take a look at XLM. That's having a pullback, right? Take a look at XDC. Take a look at XCN. Take a look at XPR, Swiftcoin. ZBCN is as well. It's not the only one. But personally for me, when things are just moving sideways, when things are having a pullback, I don't want to just give up because I've learned from the past, right? I've known that historically what could happen, some cases where I just give up. Now, I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but if I take a look at it, for instance, when I was first holding ZBCN, keep in mind, right, the market cap was below 80 million. The thing is this, I asked myself this question, what's more difficult for me to hold at a point, right, when the market cap was below 80 million or right now? Keep in mind, market cap right now was around 270 million. When I was holding ZBCN back then at below 80 million in terms of market cap, keep in mind, what recent event could I say, oh, Zebec did this? There was none. There was nothing I could really say that, oh, in the past year or 2 years, ZBCN did that. There was really nothing. I mean, there wasn't much I could go off of at that point, right? But now I've seen ZBCN did what it did. Granted, there's a pullback, but I just don't want to give up. This is my perspective. Now, people like to ask me, am I still hypothetically thinking about 10 cents? Well, yeah, I'm still thinking about it. And the reason why is because for the number four project within this space, if let's say there was even if hypothetically an altcoin season, and that's the keyword, right? If, would around a 9.7 billion market cap seem so ridiculous? This is my mindset because, again, It's not the number 10, not the number 20. It's literally the fourth most popular project within this space as of right now of global trade and finance in my perspective. And sure, it's around 36 times lower than 10 cents as of right now, but this is the altcoin space. When it comes to some bigger caps out there doing those type of movements, it's just pretty much out of the question. But for a project that has a market cap of around 270 million, I've seen a lot more done with a lot less in terms of fundamentals historically, in terms of projects. However, we'll have to wait and see in this case, but I'm just saying, sometimes it's going to trickle down a little bit because we've seen that just back in 2025. Like we saw Stellar have a lot of attention, then it kind of went to XDC, and then it kind of went to XCN, and then it kind of trickled down to ZBCN, then we kind of saw it also with XPR Swiftcoin. So the thing is, sometimes during times when the market does pretty okay, it could sometimes trickle down. So I just haven't forgotten about those moments. But as of right now, the only thing I can do realistically is just wait. That's pretty much about it. Now, granted, I don't have to. It's like a voluntary thing that I'm doing. But I'm voluntarily doing it because I still like the project. I still like the aspect of Solana when it comes to Zebec. I still like the backers when it comes to Zebec. And also on top of that, ZBCN has around 90,000 holders, right? I'm experiencing this along with around 90 other thousand individuals. Like, what can I do about it? I'm not the only one feeling this. This is the way I view it. And even if I take a look at it in the grand scheme of things, there's over 600 million holders in the entirety of this space, right? Not when it comes to ZBCN, but in just this space overall, there's over 600 million owners. So what I'm experiencing as of right now, generally speaking, is what over 500 million other individuals are also experiencing. So the thing is, it is what it is. I can't do anything about it, but I'm just going to stay waiting for the projects that I'm a fan of and stay patient, because sometimes during altcoin season, projects just randomly do things. And sometimes it's not even like a project that's known for good fundamentals. Sometimes even the ones that aren't known for fundamentals like that, they just randomly do something. So what would happen if there is that attention again? If there's that change in sentiment again when it comes to altcoins, yet the project has good fundamentals and a good following, that sometimes, in my perspective, is a recipe for a project that I want to believe in when things are not doing the best. Because I've seen what those archetypes, right, what those type of projects have done in the past. But this is the only time will tell type of scenario. I'm just going to stay waiting, but I just haven't given up. That's the way to take a look at it. And again, it's easy for me to just kind of give up when it comes to this. Like, I could just say, yeah, I'm out. Who cares? But I just haven't done that because I don't think I've seen altcoin season during this cycle. So I'm going to stay patient, but this is just my mindset as of right now. However, I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you all have a very nice day. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.